Have you ever wondered how something as small as a daily habit can quietly shape the rest of your life? Because whether you like it or not, your future is being built right now by the tiny things you repeat, not the big things you talk about. And by the end of this story, you'll see how one small habit slowly rewrites a boy's future in a way no one, not even he, ever expected. In a small village tucked between hills and winding dirt roads lived a boy named Ethan. He was no different from other boys his age, except that he carried a deep hunger inside him. Not for food, but for knowledge. Ethan was a shepherd. Every morning, before the sun rose, he walked barefoot across the cold earth, guiding his sheep to the far fields. His clothes were faded, patched many times, his hands calloused, his days long. Yet in his heart lived a question he never dared speak aloud. What if I go to school? The village had one tiny school. Paints peeling, windows cracked, but to Ethan it looked like a palace of wonders. Children walked in with dusty feet and empty tummies, but left with bright eyes and new words. Ethan watched them from a distance. He wasn't allowed in. His family needed him to work. They said, "Books won't feed sheep." But something about that place kept pulling him. The school had only one teacher, an old man named Samuel, whose white beard flowed like a river of time. He wasn't just a teacher, he was a story keeper, a listener, and a quiet observer of the world. Children respected him and adults trusted him. One morning, Ethan passed by the school as usual, but something was different. He stopped, took a deep breath, and stepped closer to the gate. Samuel noticed him, nodded with a soft smile. Ethan hesitated, then asked quietly, "Sir, what does hope mean?" The teacher's smile widened. He crouched down to Ethan's level and said, "Hope is what brings you to this gate." Then, with a few simple words, he explained it. He also spelled it slowly. H-O-P-E. Ethan repeated the letters carefully. Samuel handed him a small piece of chalk. That night, by the light of a small oil lamp, Ethan found a flat stone. With his cracked piece of chalk, he wrote the word hope. He spelled it again, whispering each letter. He had no notebooks, no pencils, no lamp, but he had stones, stars, and silence. The next day, Ethan returned, a little braver. "Sir, what does dream mean?" Samuel explained. Then he spelled D-R-E-A-M. And so it began. Every day Ethan asked for just one word, not two, not a sentence, just a single word. He wrote it, spelled it, learned its meaning, and every night he added another stone to his growing collection. Weeks passed, then months, then years. The small room behind his family's mud house filled with stones. Each stone carried a word, spelled carefully and explained with heart. While others slept, Ethan studied, quietly and patiently. His parents didn't understand it. His siblings laughed, but he never stopped. Even in the rainy season, Even when the sheep were restless, he always made time for his word. Samuel never rushed him. He never gave him extra. He understood wisdom grows best when it grows slowly. One year, illness swept through the village. The school closed. Samuel became weak and ill. Ethan, now almost 15, saw the silence settle over the village. But he had learned something the others hadn't: how to continue. He gathered the young children under a large walnut tree near the fields. He brought his stones. He placed them in a circle. Each child picked one. Ethan read the word aloud, spelled it, and explained its meaning, just as Samuel had done for him. Parents stopped to watch, then stayed to listen. When Samuel returned, thinner but smiling, he saw Ethan teaching. Stones were scattered like sacred scrolls. Children listened, eyes wide with wonder. Samuel didn't interrupt, he just smiled. Years later, when Samuel passed away, the village reopened the school. This time, Ethan was the teacher. He kept a wooden box in the classroom. Inside, the stones. On the first day of school, every child picked a stone, their first word. And every year, Ethan told his story. How one question, one step, and one word a day changed his life. Years later, Ethan received a letter he never imagined would arrive. He was invited to a national gathering of educators in the United States, a conference that honored teachers who had changed lives, not just classrooms. They spoke about his method, about teaching children through small, consistent habits instead of pressure and fear. That year, Ethan was recognized for outstanding elementary teaching methods, not for expensive tools or modern technology, but for proving that learning grows best when it begins small. When he stood on the stage holding the award, he didn't talk about success. He talked about repetition, about one word a day, about how real change doesn't arrive loudly, it arrives quietly and stays. Now, take a breath and ask yourself this. What is the one small habit you could start today that your future self would thank you for? If the story made you pause for a moment, share it with someone who might need this reminder today. And if you'd like more stories like this, subscribe and let's keep growing, one small step at a time.